truth was a troubled man. Scholar turned slave. They tortured him. Took him with them on their raids. Drove him to madness. Spreading this new form of darkness to new worlds. To my world. Senua saw a deep connection form between the Northmen and the darkness. His tales of hell were true. Then that was the source of it. She learned everything she could from him. Until she too could see what he saw. Have you ever died before? It's a serious question. When the illusion of self is shattered, you simply cease to be. Though it may not seem that way to others, you know when it is true. You can feel it. A stranger in your own body. An imposter. And nothing is the same ever again. Senua has died before. And she will do so again. You can be sure of that.
With the mark of Valravan and the mark of Surt, you may cross the bridge over the River of Knives to Helheim.
Why is she waiting? Open the gate. Open the gate.
No, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Don't open the gate. Don't.
She's done it.
It's so dark. It's dark. The darkness.
Only the dead may cross.
Only the dead may cross into hell.
Truth? Anyone?
There is no one here but me.
Not you.
Did you think that I would let you go? That you lost me back in the wilds? I will never let you go. You can't get rid of me. I am your shadow. And I will be watching when you draw your last dying gasp.
I'm not ready to die.
You will be when you see what they did to your dear beloved. In this waking nightmare, where all dreams come true, you searched for control. A way to pull through. When you were in love, you left him in tears to smother your furies and banish your fears. But in darkness they came. Through stormy black seas they raided these shores. Do you still hear his screams? And now destroyed your home. He's so far away. They've taken his soul. To these gods you cannot pray. They can break you, but not your promise. Even death won't keep you apart. Through his darkness you will find him. In your sword still beats a heart. You fought for love unspoilt by your darkness within. You fought for your dreams. Now there's no way to win. In the head of his corpse lies the seat of his soul. So you must carry his vessel to bring him back home. They can break you, but not your promise. Even death won't keep you apart. Through this darkness you will find him. In your sword still beats a heart. The darkness touched you. Everyone could see it in the hollows of your eyes. A gaze averted from life. You ran from it but brought it nearer. Led it to him. An endless suffering worse than death. And you wanted to surrender, abandoning to find peace with the gods. No. The darkness won't allow it. So you will walk into the lair of the beast. Look it in the eye, and you will go to war. This is your mission. This is your quest. There is nothing else left. The gods made you a warrior for a reason. It's your calling.
You're a capable warrior. Remember your training. Get up quickly! Get up! She's injured. She can still do it.
Why suffer the past when there is a new road ahead? The only one that makes any sense.
Ignore
Every gate you open into darkness brings another change.
She can still do it. She's hurt. She won't make it. He's down. Finish it. Finish it. She's hurt. There's blood. Quickly get up. She's injured. She's not going to make it. Behind you. Stop them. Quickly get up. They're coming. It's not over. It's not over. Watch out!
She's hurt. She's injured. She won't make it.
End it. End it now. This is nearly the end.
The journey to Helheim is never a straight one. Each must find their own path. Align yourself to its secrets, and you will find yours.
However you come to the gold-covered bridge that leads to Hell, you may find it guarded by a giantess. She will ask your name. She will ask your lineage. She will ask your business. The Northmen tell of the warrior woman Brynhild, who leapt into fire and rode to Hell to join her slain love Sigurd, and is challenged by the giantess. Hela possesses large dwelling places in Helheim. Tall are her walls, high are her gates. The name of her dish is hunger. Her knife is famine. On her threshold all will stumble. Her bed is called sick bed, and her bed hangings are called flames of a funeral pyre. They say she is easy to recognize, half black and half the color of flesh, and her face menacing and grim.
Yes, the source of the darkness. It's coming. This is your moment.
I'm sorry. I couldn't watch this.
What are you doing? You're showing weakness. You're not a warrior. You're a disgrace. The gods will punish you for this. Pick up the sword. Pick it up. Fight the darkness. Fight it. Get up. Get up. Get up and fight.
Stormy seas and lost souls. She's dreamt of this before. They say dreams are visions of our memories, thoughts and fears, as seen by our inner eye. But what if each one of us is always dreaming, even when awake, and we only see what our inner eye creates for us? Is this what hell is? A world shaped by Senua's nightmares. Maybe that's why people feared seeing the world through her eyes. Because if you believe that Senua's reality is twisted, you must accept that yours might be too.
You fail the gods. You're pathetic. Rotten. Cursed. What were you thinking? Did you really think you could win? How stupid can you be?
So stupid.
Everyone hates her. She's cursed.
The shadow hates.
Look at you. A warrior. Worthless. Weak. Pathetic. Go on. Feel sorry for yourself, because there's no one left to do that for you.
Everywhere. You fooled. What's that?
Take it. If you're too much of a coward to fight, then end the suffering. Broken and lost. Just like your sword.
Come on. Dare.
Why go on when you give everything and face that which torments you, only to find that it is worse than you could have imagined? Why go on? Is it really so weak to ask this? Or are we just so afraid of the honest answer that we do not dare pose the question? Sometimes the answer lies in a memory, feeling. A song.
It's not real. It's a trick. It's not real. It's real. Listen to it.
Don't give up.
Dillian, it's
Not like this.
It's not real. It is real. It's a trick. Don't trust it. Maybe you're already dead.
Who are you?
You still believe in me, Senua?
No, it's not. It's a trick. It's a trick. He's already dead. He can't be here. It's impossible.
Dillian.
Come to me. Please.
The light. Go towards the light. It's him. There he is. It can't be him. It's just a trick. It's in your mind. No, he's here. It's in your mind. It's real. It's happening. Go towards it. There it is. It's Dillian. He's gone. You were so slow. How could you? Keep going. How could you? Keep going. Ignore the pain. I told you it was to trick you. I told you. Where are you going? See, there's nothing to follow. Come on.
Before she first met him, she was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not like the others. Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father's in-bell made sure of that. Only occasionally did she venture out on her own, collecting firewood and herbs. Errands out in the Orkney Plains. That was her world. Like this one. Barren and lonely.
It's already disappeared. Nothing lives here, not even you. It's in your mind. You think you can see it, but it's in your mind. There's the tree.
There he was,
Where is he?
the lone figure of a boy.
He's there, under the tree.
Swordplay under the shade of a tree.
You have to
She
keep
remembers the first time she saw him. To her young eyes, he moved as if dancing, and the world danced with him. The gloom lifted. For the first time in years, she felt
He's there, under the tree.
a ray of hope.
You can see him. Come on, you have to keep Dillian going. Waiting for you. Keep going.
The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, but the sword only comes out at Sigmund's touch. His brother-in-law, King Siggeir, wants it, but Sigmund refuses it, so King Siggeir plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, but when they arrive, they are met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Siggeir captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his coveted sword, and readies them for execution.
Watching from afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance, wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
No, it's a trick. It's an illusion. It's not real. Do you really? You want to believe it's real, but it's a trick. You're deluded. Where are you going? Where is she going? What is she following? You can't even fight. It's just deception.
How does he so effortlessly court the world and bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew and dance with it, just like he does.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zenua's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
No one.
Well, I watched you, and
You learned all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
me?
I'm Dilly. I'm here for the warrior trials. Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who's supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are. But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all.
Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy
They
you.
won't stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here!
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone!
You will die here.
No!
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Shut up! Dillian? Is that you? I'll find you, my love. I promise.
Can you see him? You want to believe it. Is he not real? Is he there? You're alone in these mountains. Is that Dillian? Nothing lives here. You won't survive. You met him by the tree. She met him by the tree. Maybe it's a sign, the tree. What's he trying to tell you? He's waiting for you by the tree.
Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end? Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what happens.
happening?
Senua, imagine a sword that can slay gods. Its name is Gramr. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said the great warrior can reforge Gramr by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the Tree of Death will take you to new lands where you will face the trials.
Go to the shard. Go to the shard. Go to the shard. What's the shard? Find it.
It's the metal runestones.
It's in front of you. The metal. The runes. You need that sword. Go to the shard. Find the shards. Where is it? Find it. There it is. Focus. There's the shard. Focus. Focus. Use your eyes. Look.
Get closer.
What can you see?
A king in the north forced the dwarves to make a sword that would never fail and never rust, and that would slice through iron and stone and bring victory to its bearer. But the angry dwarves cursed it. It would be the death of a man every time it was drawn, and it would be the death of the king. Let me tell you about the sword Tyrving.
I don't recognize this place. Where are we? Where is she?
It feels wrong. Where are we now? Burial mound. So strange that we go to such lengths to bury death. Something so very ordinary, inevitable. It's as if we conspire to hide death, because we have no answer for it. But when it comes, and forces itself onto our friends or loved ones, then comes the reckoning.
I can feel the dead in the air. You can feel the dead. Don't go in. Go in. You have to go in. Take the torch. It's too dark. Take it. This will help you. Careful. You have to be able to see.
Who's there? Dillian, I'm here. I'm here for the trials. Like when we first met, remember?
There he is. Dillian, there he is. Finally. You found him.
What's wrong? What happened? Can you hear me?
Let him go. Let him.
Just wait there. I'll find you.
You have to find him. This is your mission. Find him. You have to use everything you have and find him. Get him back. He was just there. How could you lose him? How could she lose him? How could she? Find him.
I'll find him.
She has to keep going. It's not safe here. She has to keep going. If you go down there, no one can save you. It's too scary. Find another way. It's not working.
You have to use your mind. Where can you go?
You're failing. Find another way.
Think. Focus. Use your mind.
I can hear him.
Through your fingers.
We have a story that the Northmen tell about a young woman warrior. Her name is Herver, the daughter of a berserker, born after he was killed. She's a wild, willful child who teaches herself to fight with weapons. When she learns where her father is buried, her only desire is to reclaim the treasure buried with him, but above all, the sword, Tyrving.
The voice is getting louder. Listen.
Dillian.
Listen. It's him. Listen. It's getting louder.
There he is.
You're getting closer.
Keep going.
Senua, follow the voice.
You're nearly there.
Dillian's voice.
It's him. He's going to save you.
Find the voice.
Find him. You don't recognize it.
Don't doubt yourself. You'll never find it.
She doesn't recognize it.
Yes, you do. You know where you are.
She doesn't.
Listen for his voice. Listen.
Dillian, where are
Listen
you?
for his voice.
Dillian, she can't hear it.
It's not him. It's not him.
We told you.
We told you it was a trick. That voice doesn't sound like Dillian.
What's happening?
Quiet.
It's not him.
He wants me to find him. I'm lost without him.
That's not Dillian.
That doesn't sound like Dillian. What's in there?
What is it?
A secret room. That voice. It's not Dillian.
There's no way.
Find a way.
There has to be a way.
Find a way. Don't stop now. Don't give up now. Find a way.
You're too close to stop.
What's in there? Dillian wants me to face my fears. Father? I'm leaving. I've decided. I think it will be good for me.
It's the darkness. It's speaking through
No,
you.
Dad, it's me. I think I can beat it. In my own way.
I can see the darkness in your eyes, child.
I met a boy.
Boy.
The chieftain's son.
No.
He said he could help me.
It's a trick.
He said I could be normal.
Normal.
Yes.
No boy is going to save you. No one can. When they see the rot growing inside you,
No!
they will turn their back on you. The gods can only fix you through my hand. You're going nowhere.
No.
You will not defy the gods. Come, child, take my hand. Come, Senua.
I am leaving!
You cannot escape the darkness. Your curse will make everyone suffer. You will have blood on your hands!
It's done. You did it, but there's more. There's more. You're tired, but you have to keep going. There's still more. There's always more to do. It's not going to be easy. You're getting tired. Can you do another one? It's too much. She hasn't got the energy. No. Too much to do.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
Bridge. You've come this far, but the bridge is broken.
There's no way you can fix it.
What do you do now, Senua? What is it? What does it see? Get closer. You want to see what the mask sees? No, she doesn't. Don't look through it. Where are we? What is this? It's the same. It's another world. It's lighter. It's nicer. I like it here. Can we stay? The bridge. It's not broken. It's fixed. What happened? The bridge is fixed. Let's cross it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison. sickness, swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Baldur's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
Dillion is in there. Don't forget. You can feel it. It's the secret. You need the runes to fight Dillion. You need Dillion. He's waiting for you. He always said he's close. Open the gate. She can't. Open the gate. It's locked. Try harder. She can't. The gate. She can't. She can't. She will. She'll find a way. She will. It's the secret. The gate is open. Go through the gate. Go through it. It's dangerous. Follow it. What's behind the gate? Where will it take you? It's not safe. Why didn't she listen to me? She thought she did. Dillion, there he is. There he is. What are you waiting for? Quick, find a way. Find him. Go through before he disappears. Dillion, don't lose him. Way too many times. You can always let him disappear. Where is he? Where's he gone? We're in the wrong world. He's not here. She's in the wrong world. He's not in this world. He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world. The dark world.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillion taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
The gods feast and rejoice and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Baldur, striking at him with sword and axe. But he comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Baldur's mother, "Is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe?" "I did not ask the mistletoe," Baldur's mother confesses. "I thought it was too young." Oh dear.
You can't
Go up
You
there.
can't go up there.
Not in this world.
No, not in this world. You can't. He was kind to her.
Dillian's in the tower.
He's there. Senua, you've got it.
Why isn't he here?
He's gone.
He's in the dark world.
He's gone to the dark world.
You're in the wrong world.
Do you remember how he made you fear the dark world without you? What does it feel like to be in love? You broke him. You killed him.
He couldn't see the darkness within you.
You're cursed.
Look what happens to the things you love. There he is. Where are you taking me?
He's up there.
How do you get up there?
There's a way. There is a way up there. She can squash it. You're nearly there. Just find the way.
The curse cannot live.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder.
You're still alive.
The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands. And Huth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Huth is slain.
Look what happened to the things we love.
Curse broken just like it strangled him.
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Balder's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
She thought she had light within her when she was only.
She is pure darkness.
Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her past, and Dillian, her future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
You should have listened to your father when you had the chance. Why didn't you listen? You have no time for this. Speak up. Trials to distract you. They set you up, and now they're going to watch you. What if these trials mean nothing? Laughing at you. What if they take you no closer to Dillian? That's Dillian, and you're letting this get in the way. What if they're just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle? Dillian saved her. You owe your life to Dillian. You owe everything to him.
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Balder return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Balder stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Balder, weep him out of Hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they find in a cave. Balder was never my friend, she says. Let Hel keep what she has. The Northmen say that the giantess must have been Loki in disguise.
Do you remember the way he stroked your hair? Do you remember the way he felt? You saw that she was strong. Everything gets broken in the end.
You killed him with your love because he believed in you. Nobody will love her now.
Can you remember what love feels like?
Look what happens to the thing she loves. She destroys the thing she loves. Dark. Everything. With your love because he believed in you.
He cared in a way that nobody else did.
What if this is pointless?
What are you doing? Why did you think you could runes. You see runes everywhere. Everywhere. What if they're not real? What if they don't actually make sense? The gods were lying. You could think it makes sense, but really the gods are playing with you. It makes sense in your mind, but it doesn't make sense. Worlds, the gods, but it doesn't mean anything. You can't read this language. You don't understand. Sinbel was right. What if they're all about wasting every time? Just delayed by minute by minute. What does she think she's doing? You're special. She thinks she can. They mean nothing. Curse has claimed Dillian special. The gods are just messing with her. It wouldn't be this first time.
Dillian!
It's not safe.
Dillian never much cared for the underworld
You're going to fall.
and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father,
Steady,
Sinbel.
she can do it. You can do it.
I guess he took after his father, the chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see, and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillian's arms, learned to see the world through his eyes, and slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Careful. Don't Free. It's your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him. Just gone to the water. He's drowned.
Senua, your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that you, and only you, can see just to be rid of your nightmares? Or is this the price you pay for the gift you have? A gift that makes you so special in my eyes. Just another part of the person I love.
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so sorry.
What if this is pointless? What if you're wrong? What if this is nothing to do with the sword? What if we're wrong? The sword will never be yours. What if this is the end? It's just a trick. It's just a pointless test. You've been fooled before, you could be fooled again. You're being tested. You don't know. It's just their game for you. You never know which way it's going to go.
Northmen say that their Allfather, Odin, gave his eye in exchange for a drink from Mimir's well, the Well of Wisdom. In blindness there can be wisdom, only by giving can you receive in return? For this reason, I give my life and pass on my stories of the Northmen to you, Senua.
Where am I? I can't see. Who's there?
Can you hear me?
Dillian.
I'm right here. Can't you see me?
No. Help me.
Breathe slow.
It's the darkness.
Stay still. Empty your thoughts. Tell me what you feel.
The breeze.
Good. Then there is a way out.
I can't tell where it comes from.
Yes, you can.
The others. The voices. They've gone.
I'm still here.
It's so quiet. So dark.
It's okay. Listen to your own breath. Feel it rise and fall. Good. Be aware of everything you hear and feel. Let your senses guide you.
I can't go on. Dillian?
Find a way. I'm not leaving you here.
I think I'm somewhere else now. The breeze has gone.
Use all of your senses. Let the world speak to you. What do you hear?
I hear water.
Go to it.
I've reached the water.
Good. That's your way out. Follow it upstream.
I'm so sorry. I thought I left this all behind.
Don't be sorry. It's not your fault.
He was right. It's inside of me. It won't let me go.
Senua. My father. He taught me the hardest battles are fought in the mind, not the sword. You're no coward. Prove that to me in the warrior trials. This is just another battle. You can beat it.
This isn't your battle. You don't have to help me.
I want to. Besides, you are going to be a great warrior one day. You need people like you.
I'll do my best.
I know what you're thinking. He's not really here. It seems there's no escaping the past in this place. And so she's forced to relive it. To what end?
There is a house. I don't know what's inside.
Don't be afraid.
Dillian. There's something.
Do you see it?
No.
Then it cannot see you. Quietly move past it, one step at a time.
It's not following me.
Leave it behind and keep moving forwards.
I think I'm in a house. It stinks of death.
The darkness is testing you, but you are in control.
A well. There's a well.
Don't turn back. You're getting close.
Delia. Help me. Delia. Is that you? I can see a light.
Yes. I can see you too.
She could spend hours, days even, trapped within herself, in the dark.
You see me?
Yes.
Your eyes were open, but you were gone.
And when it finally let her go, she could be anywhere, with no memory of how she got there.
When it comes for me, I have no power over it.
But here, for the first time, someone was there to help.
But I heard your voice. You brought me back.
You found your own way back. All you needed was a little help. A little hope.
Killing you would be too easy. They're taking your memories to torture you. Inside, you're disappearing one memory at a time. Every time you remember, it disappears. They're going to take everything. They're not yours anymore. They're going to take everything you have. The memories of ghosts. They belong to the gods, not to you. They're eating you from the inside. They want to kill your soul. They want to crush it. I think they want your body. They want your soul. They want your mind, and they're going to take it. The memories were yours, but they're the gods now.
Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end? Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what happens. I saw once a plague strike northern lands of ice. It was so terrible that not the oldest man among us could remember the like. Hundreds died. The sickness took nearly every person younger than 40 and many older, and where dying mothers gave birth, the marks of the plague were on the babes as they came out of the womb.
Where are we? I don't like it. This place feels...
What is this place?
This place feels... It's creepy. Creepy. wrong. This has to be wrong. This place stinks. It's disgusting. It smells like days. Hideous. The light. Go towards it. He's in the house. He's going in. He's disappearing. Follow him. Don't let him disappear. The air. Where's it gone? Keep going. How do you feel? It's just a trial.
It's a test. Like the old warrior trials. Dillian will help me.
The stench of rot. She can almost taste it. Do you smell it? No. Don't worry. Not everyone can. It was a warm spring day when she went to the river with Dillian and the others. But the water. She could taste the rot. But no one else could. She knew something was wrong. Something sinister. She begged them to leave, but they just laughed at her. But soon enough, as the bodies piled up, no one was laughing. And they knew that she was not like them.
It's broken. Fix it. You have to find him. Quick, get to the house. Get to the house and finish this trial. It doesn't finish until you get to the house. Before he disappears, Senua. You have to get in.
The Northmen speak of a death moon, a light shaped like a half moon that appears inside a house and goes around the walls. I once saw the death moon appear at a farm, and first the shepherd died, then a guest died, and then the farm hands, and then the farmer and 6 of his men drowned at sea. But that is not the end of it, because the dead return to haunt the living. If you see the death moon, then beware, because there will be death in that house.
That's it. You did it. Shit. It's not done yet. Just a small piece of the puzzle. You found a way to climb the tower. The ladder. Quick. What now? You can see it. Aligned to the truth. The bridge. She did it. You fixed the bridge. She fixed it. You passed the trial. Get to the house. You succeeded.
Senua! Come to me! Where are you?
I'm here! I'm right here!
Are you in there? Come out if you are.
find him.
You have to find him.
The runes.
Focus.
Dillion! They're coming for me!
Someone's calling you. Someone's calling you. What's that voice? You can hear Dillion. It's Dillion. Go to him. Dillion. Go to him. He's trying to. It's close. It's
Run.
close. Run now. Save him.
What should I do?
Where's your sword? To defend yourself. What is that creature? You can't defend yourself. It's Dillion. The light. Go towards it. Focus. Two more. Don't let it see. Don't get lost. Don't see. You'll start to burn. You'll burn. There it is. Move away. Don't let it happen. Quick. Where's Dillion? Where is he? This is taking too long. Can you hear him? You're lost. 2 more rooms. You have to find them. One more to find. One more. One done. Don't get lost. Find the other symbol. You're lost. Don't let it see you. It is. Go towards it. Run. Find it. You've got them. You have them. Where's the door? You have to find a way out. Find the gate. Get out. Run. 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 Let him look at you. Don't let it see you. It's coming. Move on. You're lost.
Where are you?
Senua!
Senua! What happened?
They're blaming me for the plague. They say that I'm cursed. What if they're right?
How would they know such a thing? Are they gods? None of us are. They're just people. Good people, but they're scared. They're afraid of what they can't see. Like children scared of the dark. They make up stories to fill the void. That doesn't make them true.
What if my father was right?
You have to step out of this darkness. Let them see who you really are, like I have. You're not a monster.
Without you, this darkness has made me a monster.
You've done it. You did it. The warrior trials. Go get the sword. You did it for the sword. You have to get the sword.
With Grammar reforged, you will have Odin's blessing to walk, a goddess, into the halls of Helheim and challenge Hela as an equal.
So Dillion was helping me. And the sword will lead me to him. Like when we first met.
Dillion gave her the strength to pass the warrior trials, and she saw a way out. To leave her past behind and become a warrior in Dillion's clan.
Go back. It's not safe.
The sword is tainted by the gods of darkness. Leave it.
No. He left it here. He wants me to take it.
You will pay a price for this.
But years later, with Zinbel's parting words still haunting her, the darkness came back with a vengeance. A plague.
Dillion?
Everyone suffered.
My father was not supposed to die like this.
Do you see it clearly now, Senua? The suffering you've caused.
This is your fault. You brought this plague to us! You have blood on your hands!
They're coming for you now.
They're coming.
They're coming to get
Hold
you.
your heavy strike. Hold it. Hold the heavy strike. Hold. Unleash the sword.